Robert G. Hansen. I was AMS third class, structural mechanic, and I was a plane captain most of the time while I was in the Navy. I had been trained as a plane captain, and that responsibility was you had the care of one particular aircraft, and my number, because I was more senior on that cruise, the second cruise, I got 302, streetcar. Streetcar was the call name when they would be flying around. The controller would call, streetcar 302, you're now cleared for landing, and so forth. So that was my airplane. Your responsibility was to do the daily pre-flight, post-flight inspections, cleanliness of the airplane, check the fluids, hydraulic, engine oils, fuel load, look for any leaks, checking the tires, landing gear, make sure that the surfaces of the airplane hadn't been damaged or shot up, bullets. So let's put it, when the pilots would come up to man the aircraft, you'd greet them, take their flight bag with their maps and stuff. You'd do a walk around the aircraft with the pilot, and then help them get in. Had strap connections, they would buckle, and you'd help them buckle in, and then start up the airplane, turn it up, and then there were a number of signals you gave the pilot, because you couldn't hear with the engines all running. So it was all hand signals, and you would tell them to move all the different flight control surfaces, extend flaps, power pack, the emergency power pack, the tail hook, and just check everything before the airplane flew. A7 was a very good airplane. I think the pilots liked it a lot. It performed very well. I only had one instance when I had a plane come back besides the two that we lost that had any damage that I knew of, and we ran a 4-section duty. So the first day of duty, sections 1 and 3 would stay late to recover the last launch, and 2 and 4 would secure early. So they only had a 14-hour day, so they could go. And then so the next day, the other two would stay late, and the other guys could secure. So this day I was on the late recovery, which wasn't my airplane, it was another airplane that you recovered for somebody. And the plane came back with all its weapons, all its bomb loads still on it. And once the pilot got recovered, brought around and brought in, he was hot, he was mad. Why couldn't I couldn't jettison my bombs, I couldn't do this. He was really pissed. So the first thing you do when the plane comes back, you safety it. You open up the avionics bays, and you have to open some circuit breakers and stuff. So I go to the av bay and open it up, and I see this hole in the side of the av bay. That's interesting. Pop the door open, let it hang down. And the weapons delivery computer that was in there, a nice big hole right through it where this round about that long it was probably a ground fire of some kind, and it went right into the avionics or the weapons delivery computer, and that's why he couldn't drop anything. I said, "Come here, sir." I said, "Here's why you couldn't drop your bombs." He saw it, he kind of turned white. Craig Landon, I think it's Lieutenant Landon, was the pilot. So that instance was my one thing that I do remember. We had a few other things. One guy got hurt. He got knocked over by a wing. When the aircraft are getting towed anywhere on the hang deck, you have guys walk along with the wheel chock next to it. And he was a new guy in our squadron, and evidently when the yellow shirt that was moving the airplane called for the tractor to start pulling the airplane, he didn't hear it, and the wing pylon hit him and knocked him down, and the main mount of the airplane ran over his leg, and that plane weighs 48,000 pounds, and it just crushed his thigh. So there's no way to save his leg. It was just crushed, and that's a very sad thing that happened. We lost one night. I wasn't on it. I had the earlier secure one night. An F-4 Phantom came in for a landing, and if the airplane misses the arresting cable, it's called a bolter. So as soon as he hits the deck, the pilot, or whether he catches the wire or not, goes to full power. And for some reason, either he thought that he had been made a successful trap or not. I guess he pulled the power back and didn't have the wire, so he didn't have enough airspeed or power to take off. So he went over on the angled deck. He landed, and he and his backseat guy ejected. I guess I don't know who they recovered. The pilot got recovered, but the Rio, the backseat of the airplane, I guess he got tangled up in the shroud lines from the parachute, and he drowned. And so we lost the airplane.